there, welcome to First Glance with Jody, Vance. We're welcoming back a good friend of the program. He is the CEO of Medexus. Ken d'Entremont is with us from HQ in Bolton, Ontario. Welcome back, Ken.
Hi, Jody. It's nice to see you again.
It's great to see you too. I always get excited about your company, a leading innovative and rare disease pharmaceutical company. Let's reintroduce Medexus to our viewer, because I remember getting very keen and excited on what you bring to the table at your pharmaceutical company.
Sure, happy to. So Medexus is a commercial company bringing innovative drugs to the US and Canadian marketplace in the space of orphan drug and rare disease, such as hemophilia, leukemia, arthritis, those spaces. We've got infrastructures totally built out, both US and Canada, and we're busy adding more products to build our top line.
What's an orphan drug?
It typically is a drug that treats a small group of patients. So, there are various incentives, particularly in the US, where the FDA incents companies to do research in overlooked therapeutic areas. Now, there's still a lot of people with some of these orphan drug diseases, so they need support and help. And so, for instance, hemophilia, there's only 4,000 to 5,000 patients in the US with hemophilia B. That's very much an orphan drug, but those 4,000 to 5,000 patients need help.
Yeah, very much rely on the help that your pharmaceutical company offers. Medexus is M as in Mary, D as in David, P as in Peter, MDP on the TSX. Let's talk about how differentiated your company portfolio is, how innovative you are and diverse in what you bring to the table from an investment perspective.
Sure. I mean, as we said at the top, we're very much focused in rare disease, orphan drug. In our hands, that means hemophilia. It means stem cell transplantation. So we've got a sales force that's already kind of in those spaces, and we're adding products to that portfolio. So as we add products, with good, revenue potential and not really increase our cost very much, obviously that produces a good return. We're already at, over $80 million of revenue per year. That's US dollars. And we're expecting to grow quite significantly with a product that we've just added for a glioblastoma, which is a brain tumor, cancerous brain tumor, and a product that's coming down the pipeline for stem cell transplantation, which is a treatment for leukemia.
So with glioblastoma, for Canadians, largely that is a reference or a familiar term, even though it is deeply rooted in the science. But that's what Gord Downey of the Tragically Hip was diagnosed with, and widely thought of as untreatable in so many ways. So this is one of those orphan situations, as you mentioned, but bringing a treatment to the fore is something that might really excite a nation, because we've learned so much about this over the last number of years.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And we had that, fantastic example of somebody living with, a glioblastoma and surviving extremely well. But at the end of the day, it's terminal. So, the treatment that we have helps the surgeon do a more complete resection. So it causes the cancerous tissue to fluoresce so the physician can see it. And that, hopefully assists them in taking it out.
Right. I mean, every little bit, you had me at help is pretty much what I want to say with that. And on some of the pediatrics you mentioned, the diseases that really underpin your growth for the next decade or so. This is an opportunity really for the investor to come in and be excited about the news moving forward. Certainly, we've not seen science advance in the way that it has in recent years. And certainly there has been some significant sharing of information and a coming together over these last 2 years. The growth in pharmaceuticals has been pretty astounding over this global pandemic. Let's talk about some of the news that Medexus has had recently, just last month.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I guess, last month we put out our quarterly results and, they were very strong. We showed over $20 million of revenue, positive EBITDA, good cash position. So, our base business is really strong. Plus we have this product treosulfan We think we will resubmit in this month, July, and that will start the clock ticking down to a FDA approval we expect. I would encourage all investors to go and see a presentation that we did with a Dr. Milano, who is a stem cell transplanter in the US and has a lot of experience with treosulfan from his experience in Europe. And so he can really share, the expectations of where that drug fits in, on the positive benefits it's going to bring to that marketplace. And for those patients, dealing with various forms of leukemia.
Treosulfan, can you give us a little bit of a layman's terms, Cole's notes on what that discussion with Dr. Milan looked like?
Sure. Treosulfan is used in the conditioning prior to a stem cell transplant. So basically they have to knock out the bone marrow before they put new cells in that then grow and produce, healthy blood cells. So our drug knocks it out. And so the drug that we're replacing is quite toxic. So it's difficult for the patients to manage. And so our drug just does a better job. And it leads to better overall survival. There's a significant improvement in overall survival as a result of using our drug. So, we're eager to hopefully get it approved later this year.
And once again, helping people. We're with Ken D'Entremont, is the CEO of Medexus Pharmaceuticals, MDP, M as in Mary, D as in David, P as in Peter, on the TSX, headquartered in Bolton, Ontario. And we're just unpacking some of the good news that you have on the docket, on your deck, if you will. But let's talk a little bit about the people behind the scenes. I know we did this before when we first spoke, but tell people who are thinking, this sounds good to me, but I don't really know who you are, because there's that pharma piece of the puzzle. Pharma has become a dirty word for some people. Talk about the people who are sitting at the helm of Medexus, looking to make the world a better place by helping people in these orphan lanes.
Sure. Medexus is a company that I founded. I came out of big pharma, where we had, broad portfolios. And I just felt that there was an opportunity for a smaller company to focus in certain therapeutic areas, bring in products that people need in both US and Canada, and grow this company, that will produce a good return for investors. So I think we've attracted a lot of people that really enjoy making a difference, bringing some of these innovative products to the market where we can actually see the benefit of improving patients' lives with some pretty debilitating diseases. And, we get calls within our organization from patients that certainly appreciate what we're doing and what we're trying to do going forward.
It's really important that people understand, as you've been pointing out, to the various diseases you've mentioned, but like the rheumatology, the autoimmune diseases that impact so many people, but they're so widely differentiated one to the next, and you can be on the bell curve of immunocompromised. Many friends and family members have had to navigate that. And certainly when there is a drug that's found that has an impact on just that one life, or just a handful, like you said, 5,000 people with hemophilia B, those 5,000 people definitely matter to this great degree. Each and every one of them is a life, and a mother, a brother, a father, a son, a sister, what have you. I mean, it sounds cliche, but at the end of the day, the help that your company is putting forward is something that falls into that ethical lane. If you're looking at the big pharma picture, and some people who I speak with throughout doing this First Glance with Jody Vance, is people will just kind of paint everybody with a similar brush and then go in search of their investment portfolio having more of what you're bringing to the table, Ken. Honestly, I think that's what got me excited about your company when first we spoke, is that it feels like you know how to navigate the big by helping the little.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting way to put it. I mean, I think all of us within Medexus really get enjoyment and satisfaction out of making a difference. In a big pharma company, they bring fabulous drugs to the market too, but
For sure.
you kind of get lost in the mix. Whereas in a small company like ours, we can really focus on a segment of patients and do our best to help that group and receive direct feedback. I think that's what gets us up in the morning, That's what gets us out there and, you know, seeking solutions to a lot of these problems. And I think we've been fortunate enough to bring some really innovative products to the marketplace that are making a difference, and we expect will continue to make a difference in the future.
Yeah, you talked a little bit about new drug applications and approvals for a number of products. Are there any others that you'd like to highlight today?
Treosulfan is the big one for us, you know, for sure. You know, that's a drug that we've said publicly can be over $100 million US. It's a big drug. That would more than double our revenue. So that's one we're really focused on. And we hope we're in the final stages of that approval. Again, go to our website, listen to what Dr. Milano has to say, and you get some sense of, you know, what we're trying to do with that drug.
Okay, let's get them to the website here. It's medexus.com, medexus.com, correct?
That is correct.
And if they're reaching out to you specifically, Ken, can they find your direct link, I'm assuming, on your website?
Correct. Yeah, my email is available. Anybody can contact me directly. I'm happy to hear from them. All
right. Medexus is the name of the company. Medexus Pharmaceuticals, MDP on the Toronto Exchange, and Ken d'Entremont, their CEO. Always a pleasure to chat with you. I look forward to your next update.
It's good to see you, Jody. Thanks for having me.